John Razimus here. I heard about this thing called Blue Avians from Brandon Young. And so I briefly searched them, and as you can see, this is one of the first videos that comes up. And I'm going to be taking a listen to that video shortly, but the Blue Avians are a supposed extraterrestrial race that looks more like Jar Jar 2.0 if George Lucas didn't sell Star Wars in an alternate universe. And this is what we would be looking forward to. These toys would be on the shelves right now if George Lucas did not sell Star Wars to Disney. And basically, David Wilcock, the guy who claims to be the reincarnation of Edgar Cayce, which I find to be extremely disrespectful because Edgar Cayce was a cool guy. Edgar Cayce was a brilliant man who went into trance, no doubt, and received revelation, no doubt. And he has volumes of books. And specifically, my sister and my mom, they really appreciate the actual Edgar Cayce, not this David Wilcock counterfeit Edgar Cayce, but the actual Edgar Cayce was a genius, spiritually speaking, and he came up with a lot of things. And as you can see, even searching Edgar Cayce, you come across all this David Wilcock garbage, which, to be honest, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. But this Blue Avian stuff, I am not like the vigilant Christian when it comes to assuming and automatically jumping on the bandwagon of assuming everything is demons. But in this case, I think I may have beaten the vigilant Christian on making a video about David Wilcock and his demon friends. Because, in my opinion, if these guys are real, beyond this guy's imagination, they're demons. They're negative spirit entities. And I'm not going to shove any religion down your throat. You either believe in demons or you don't. I personally met a couple demons. They didn't show their face in any specific way like this, but demons don't have a shape or a form that is concrete. Demons are shapeshifters, and I'm going to cover this in an episode where I talk about the attributes of demons. But the reason I suspect these guys are demons is based on the information that David Wilcock says these Blue Avians gave him. Now, this video is a clip from a radio show, the Jimmy Church radio show. I'm just going to play a few seconds of it, and you'll get the gist of what I'm talking about. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I jumping on the bandwagon of saying that Lady Gaga or Katy Perry are Illuminati, as the vigilant Christian would be doing. Because I don't think Lady Gaga's evil or a member of the Illuminati. And I don't think Katy Perry is evil or a member of the Illuminati. I think they are musicians, and I think they are not members of the Illuminati, and I think any spiritual direction that a musician is going to go is going to be based on their own personal spiritual path that they choose to take. I don't think anyone is forcing Lady Gaga to put anything in any video, or Katy Perry's. And this is a conspiracy theory that both David Wilcock shares and the vigilant Christian. David Wilcock believes that these alien entities told him that Lady Gaga and Katy Perry are members of the Illuminati, and they're going to be taken down. Now, that's an oversimplification of the clip. Let's listen to it.
Bringing this up into space anymore. They stopped doing that in the 1950s and early 1960s, but now it's happening again. People are being contacted, people are being brought up into space, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people apparently are being brought up there in advance of this big mass arrest thing that is going to happen. We're going to see the Illuminati exposed. We're going to see their plans exposed. It's going to be the greatest wake-up call. It's probably going to end up being called the Illuminati Tribunals. It's going to be all over TV. It's what everybody's going to be talking about. Probably once this happens, you're not going to hear any Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or any of that type of music being played on the radio when you walk into a restaurant or a grocery store, because people are going to know now what was going on. There's going to be a huge backlash against this stuff. You're going to see heads of state, major celebrities, major world leaders, as well as shadowy international bankers being brought out on trial. What they are telling me is, for God's sake, David, get off your ass, hurry the F up, do as much as you can to release this stuff as fast as you can, because it's all coming to a head very, very soon. And one of the most juicy things that I was just told, somebody said they want new information, is that within the next 6 months, where we're going to be 6 months from now apparently is very different than where it is right now, and everything is going to accelerate to warp drive over the course of the next 6 months. That's what I'm hearing. So I hope it's true. I'd love to see that it comes true. You know, I have all these dreams telling me that I'm going to be extremely public, extremely exposed. Already when I go out in public, people spot me a lot of the time, but I still can reasonably go through life without having everybody wanting to talk to me and take a selfie. Apparently in the future, it's not going to be like that. I'll be like a Snowden. Everybody's going to know who I am, and I'll probably have to have security and just, you know, not leave the house, basically just stay home all the time.
As you can see from that clip, David Wilcock makes some extremely absurd predictions that he claims are only 6 months away. These predictions are over a year old. So we know they never happened. We know they're false predictions. So there's only two scenarios, David Wilcock. Either A, you're a liar, or B, the entities that gave you this information were lying. And I believe it's the B. I believe these entities did come to David Wilcock through dreams, through visions, through a spiritual sense of you get into a trance through meditation, and entities do come to you. Entities came to the Buddha, and Buddha greatly elaborately described the entities that came to him. And these are entities that came to David Wilcock. Now, why did some blue bird men come to David Wilcock? Why not anyone else? Now, other people actually are claiming it. The way that demons work is they'll send a fake message and they'll kind of beta test it. They'll beta test their fake message. And if it catches on, the gray aliens, bam, they're all over the place. Now, I will say this. I definitely believe actual extraterrestrials exist. I believe actual physical extraterrestrials in this universe exist out there, and they're on a planet somewhere. Some of them are probably intelligent. Some of them are probably in the caveman stages. But I do not believe these are actual extraterrestrials. The reason I automatically jumped to the conclusion that they are spirits is because they telepathically told David Wilcock this information. They telepathically told him. Which means that either A, David Wilcock is crazy, or B, they're spirits. The reason spirits have to telepathically tell you stuff is because they can't show up as in a physical form because they don't have bodies. They don't have physical third-dimensional bodies. All they have are these spiritual bodies in a higher dimension. And so telepathic communication is literally going to be the strongest form of communication they can give you, other than dream symbolism or trance symbolism while in meditation. So they can send you pictures and they can send you messages, but they can never send you a physical proof that they're even physically real, other than sending the same images to many different people and sending the same telepathic messages to many different people, which I do believe did happen. Many people have talked about it, but gray aliens. Now let's talk about gray aliens for a second. I have had a number of sleep paralysis scenarios, and within, I would say, among at least 2 of those sleep paralysis scenarios, I saw a gray alien at the foot of my bed. Now, the one that I saw, I suppose the one that I saw looked sort of like that. He looked sort of like that. He definitely had big eyes. Let's see if I could find the one that looks even closer. You know, I guess the one I saw looked pretty much like that. Yeah, the one I saw basically looked like the Whitley Strieber Communion gray alien. And I saw him at the foot of my bed during a sleep paralysis incident. And they're very common, but they're not extremely common. They're rare enough to not happen to everyone. And during such instances, people see different things. And I can tell you about other sleep paralysis things that I saw on an episode when I focus on sleep paralysis. But these blue avians, I believe, are demons. They gave David Wilcock some false information. And this all lines up with the New Age movement spirits that Vigilant Christian has been talking about. And I find it funny that both the Vigilant Christian and David Wilcock agree on the fact that Lady Gaga and Katy Perry are Illuminati. But the funniest part is the predictions these guys gave David Wilcock. The predictions are hilarious. The predictions are that David Wilcock's going to be so famous he won't be able to leave his house, he'll need security, and that the top news story in the world is going to be the Illuminati shakedown, Illuminati being destroyed off the face of the earth. And there's going to be trials, they're going to be called the Illuminati whatever. I don't think so, David Wilcock. I'll give you my own prediction, David Wilcock. Courtesy of no spirits or demons or extraterrestrials, my prediction is the Illuminati, if they exist, the shadow government, if they exist, they will never be exposed. There will never be any tribunals of them being taken down by anyone, ever. Anytime soon. In my lifetime, anyway. And I believe even disclosure, and I have an episode I'm going to be doing on disclosure. But these blue avians, they are big fat liars, or David Wilcock's a liar. Either David Wilcock's a liar, or these blue avians are big fat liars. The reason I think David Wilcock is not lying when he says he got this information from these blue alien birds is because David Wilcock is a professional, psychic isn't the right word, even though Edgar Cayce was considered a psychic. This guy considers himself a New Age visionary type of a guy, but he's a perfect target. He has a target on his head concerning these demonic entities. These demonic entities heard of David Wilcock, and they're like, you know what? We're going to try out some blue alien story on this guy, see if it catches fire. And if people believe it, we'll show up to a lot of different people. And if people don't believe it, then we'll stop it. And of course, connections were made to the ancient Egyptian gods, and I have a theory on those guys as well, but I'll keep that for another episode. There's most definitely something funny going on when a guy tells you in 6 months huge things are going to happen. Lady Gaga music and Katy Perry music will not be played in supermarkets because of the Illuminati tribunals, because of the Illuminati takedown throughout the whole world. And that he's going to need security because he's so famous, because he'll be the Edward Snowden of taking down the entire Illuminati. Now, newsflash, Mr. David Wilcock, Mr. Forehead. Newsflash, let me tell you something, David Wilcock. You think you're a genius conehead from outer space, but the fact of the matter is, you're being played by these entities. They'll never show themselves in physical form because they're not physical. How convenient is that? I guarantee you, blue avians never show up, and gray aliens never show up ever, because they're not physical, never have been. And I guarantee you, any information they tell you isn't going to lead to anything good. It's only going to lead to bad. What they did was make you look like a fool. They made you look like a joke. And that's what happened. Now, prove me wrong, but their predictions were totally bogus and totally false. And I understand this video is going to cause people to say, oh, you're against this or that, but I'm definitely against the New Age movement. That's one thing I have in common with the Vigilant Christian. I think the New Age movement is full of idiots that meditate, communicate with negative entities, and those negative entities play games. Proof of those negative entities' existence is when they show up to multiple people. Now, the Blue Avians isn't the best example, because Blue Avians haven't showed up to too many people. But the insectoid aliens have shown up to a lot of people. I think this would have been an alien race that was beta tested, a demonic mask, a demonic total fraud of a scam, tested out on some people, and it wasn't too popular, so demons don't show up like this too often. I believe demons can appear like the Mothman in the Mothman prophecies. I believe they can appear like anything. Here's some basic alien types. And Bigfoot, Bigfoot, I personally believe Bigfoot, there's a huge chance, is a spirit entity. And if an entity can't show up in physical form and physically show you that they're physically real, they're a spirit. Period. Now, spirits are physical in their dimension. I personally believe spirit entities, like these demons, that they don't look like this. I personally believe they look normal. I believe they look like you and me. I believe they look like humans. I believe one might even look like that. And they live in the 5th dimension. In my opinion, that's my guess. Now, I don't know if they live in the 5th, but I'm sticking with the 5th. I think these entities live in the 5th dimension, and that they wear masks for us. They do it simply for their own amusement and to trick and fool us. And that when they're chilling with each other, they look normal, and they're wearing their casual, normal faces. See, a face is kind of as casual as a t-shirt, because they're not physical, and so they can change their entire body into any shape or form that they want. Can I prove any of this? No, but I'm unmasking this occult process of the dissemination of false information. Now, I'll share what I saw in sleep paralysis episodes in the past, but until next time, I just thought this was an interesting story to talk about and focus on. that this guy doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know anything. The New Age movement is a fraud, but that there is a legitimate transfer of information across this New Age movement via negative entities, demons, spirits, whatever you want to call them. I believe they're entities living in the fifth dimension, and that they are spiritual and they are spirits, but they can only communicate via flashing information, images, dreams, trances, visions, and direct telepathic communication. And until I see one in person, it's a spirit as far as I'm concerned. And I thank you for watching. This has been John Razimus with Occult Unmasked. Be seeing you.